Hello everyone, it's Truds here, and today we've got another Destiny 2 build video. We've got builds coming thick and fast now. As the new season of Arrival starts to ramp up, so does the content for you. We've already covered a number of top tier builds using the new seasonal mods right here on the channel. If you haven't checked them out, go take a look. They're only really the start of what's possible, with some hybrid builds coming right up. So if that's what you like, hit subscribe, help a guy out, and while you're at it, give us a rating down below too. Thank you very much. So where are we at today? What are we going to look at? I don't know. If you've been keeping up with the new mods, you'll know that a lot of them have brought some crazy buffs to a number of weapon archetypes, with sidearms and swords being mega popular options. However, today, rocket launchers, we are coming for you. We are bringing them back into the limelight with this new mod that gives them an awesome buff that generally they deserve in general, and this is all thanks to Argent Ordance. This new Arrivals mod from the Prismatic Recaster costs 5 solar energy. With this mod equipped, whilst you are charged with light, dealing damage with a rocket launcher to a powerful combatant gives you a major increase to rocket launcher damage for a short time, consuming 1 stack of charged with light. This is a neat little mod which brings rocket launchers right into line as top DPS options, and will be more helpful in certain boss encounter situations than the overly powerful swords which are arguably kings of the dips right now. So what does this mod do? Godslayer Warheads is the perk granted with this mod, and well, with a name like that, let's hope it lives up to expectations. It works similar to Rampage and Kill Clip in terms of its damage output increase, with the base damage increase at roughly 20%. But you can stack the mod up to 3 times to gain an increased buff to your rocket launcher damage, but that's only up to a maximum of 35%. However, I wouldn't overly recommend this as it would limit your loadout potential. In order to keep it basic, 3 stacked mods with a taking charge mod would set you right up as far as getting the biggest damage buff straight away. But we don't do basic here on the channel, as you well know by now. Now as far as my testing goes, this mod doesn't stack with standard buffs like Well of Radiance or Empowering Rifts, but it will work with debuffs like Tractor Cannon or Tether to give a further increase to damage output. The duration of the buff only lasts about as long as it takes to reload and fire your next rocket, which does feel like an age given reload speeds of rocket launchers. And how it works is that once you fire your first shot, you'll get the standard damage, but then for each successive shot on a powerful opponent, you'll get the damage buff, despite the tooltip showing Godslayer Warheads as soon as you pull out your rocket. I'd highly recommend a reload perk such as Marksman's Dodge for Hunters, a Rally Barricade for Titans, and Lunar Faction Boots Rifts for Warlocks, all of which will dramatically improve the reload speed of any weapon, not just rocket launchers. Now we need a rocket launcher to put into this one, and I tested a few out, but as we are going for high DPS with this mod, I've picked Deathbringer. This exotic power weapon came to us in Shadowkeep, and in my opinion is a great weapon. The look and uniqueness of the weapon is everything an exotic should be. Its intrinsic perk, Dark Deliverance, fires remotely detonated projectiles that drop void orbs on opponents. These void orbs can cause more damage the further they fall thanks to its trait, Dark Descent. Now the void orbs and initial blast both benefit from the damage buff of Godslayer Warheads, and although it is tricky to track due to the varying damage values of the falling orbs, a direct impact does show the increased damage value. Now this weapon is great for the setup we're putting together with this build, so please stick with me on this one. Obviously to benefit from this buff, you need to become charged with light. Now yes, I know, I get it. I see you in the comments telling me which mod is better for charged with light, but they all pretty much do the same thing. So here, this time, I'm going to lay it all out on the table and give you not 1, not 2, but 3 options to help you become charged with light. First up, we're touching on a mod we covered in our last video with Swift Charge. This Arrival's armor mod costs 5 arc energy and will allow you to become charged with light by defeating multiple combatants with a pulse rifle, sidearm or SMG. It also has a bonus perk which becomes active if you slot another arc mod into the armor piece, which will grant bonus pulse rifle reserves. This mod is particularly handy if you're running an unstoppable pulse rifle mod for anti-champion builds, in Nightfall Ordeals or even in the Contact seasonal event. As becoming charged with light is not a rush with this build, as you'll only be using the Godslayer Warheads for boss damage, you can build up your stacks of charged with light in the early phases of encounters, so grabbing a few multi-kills with a pulse rifle with this mod isn't a bad option. Another option though is obviously taking charge. This door mod costs a free neutral energy and will allow you to become charged with light by collecting orbs of light. It is by far the simplest method to get consistent stacks with minimal effort. It is a great option and is always one I'll consider in my base charged with light builds, especially in PvP. This mod will open you up to use other anti-champion mods such as overload mods for hand cannons or anti-barrier mods for auto rifles depending on what content you're running. But if you want to go all in on the rocket launcher aspect of the build, why not use the worthy armor mod Blast Radius. This mod costs free solar energy and will allow you to become charged with light by defeating multiple combatants with rocket launchers or grenade launchers. Now I'd only consider this mod if you're going to use multiple rocket launcher ammo finder and scavenger mods on your helmet and leg armor respectively, because you're going to need a hell of a lot of rockets all of the time to keep the charge with light rolling. It's an option and it does work, and it can help turn your rocket launcher into a primary weapon as such, especially in this build. Considering we are running Deathbringer 2, which has a large area of effect potential thanks to void orbs, getting multi-kills is easy to achieve very often. If you do run this mod, then I'd recommend the Blast Off class item mod. This solar affinity mod costs free energy and it'll grant bonus super energy from rocket launcher final blows, which fits great into this build. Finally, we're going to put in the supercharged mod to max out our charge with light stacks. Granting a 4x stack, this solar armor mod costs 5 energy. It's a top mod and will allow us to build our stacks up as much as we can to get the most out of Godslayer Warheads as possible, as a 4x stack will allow us to have 4 rounds of buffed ammo. Now this one is a fun build, however it is in no way game breaking or god tier as the name of the perk might suggest, but making rockets viable again is always a good thing. It does leave your loadout open, especially for anti-champion weapons, which sometimes can be the most frustrating part of encounters. The beauty of this setup though is that it will blend in right across the board, whether you play Warlock, Titan or Hunter, as there is no specific subclass that works better with it than others. However, I was using the Warlock's Attunement of Grace due to its great team play with its neutral buffing and healing gameplay opportunities. To be honest, this build isn't the strongest, and it is rather situational in that you are pretty much holding on to your charge with light buff for what can seem like an eternity to use it in the right situation. I personally think that there are lots of better options out there at the minute, especially with the sidearm build we looked at recently and also any sword build too. So there we go, a deep dive into a new rocket launcher build with Season of Arrivals. Please let me know in the comment section below what needs to be done to make rocket launchers great again, or is this mod enough? If you are new around here and like these deep dives into builds and loadouts, then please hit subscribe. It's a free and easy way to support the channel and stay up to date. Also, a rating down below is always greatly appreciated. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.